Good Wednesday afternoon, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here in the North Georgia Majeski Weather Studios with your Talking Live forecast update here on your September the 24th, 2025. Well, again, a bit of good news out there today is that we're seeing a little thicker cloud cover than what was anticipated here originally, and I think it's going to help keep the temperatures down just a little bit, especially down into Georgia. But it looks like we're in store for a little bit of rain here for today, but really more significant rains coming in for tonight into tomorrow. And there is a slight risk we might see an isolated thunderstorm or two. We'll kind of break that down for you here in just a second. Now, before we get into all that, if you're watching here on Facebook, please give us a like and follow here on the Talking Live broadcast channel. And if you're watching over on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you're alerted on future forecast updates. All right, let's go and take a live look there into Chattanooga. Again, we've had some rain in the area, cloudy skies. That's definitely a welcome relief as far as exceeding hot temperatures out there, but really not looking too bad out there. A little bit of rain off toward the west. We'll show you that on the radar here in a second. Lake Chattooga up there in North Georgia, also looking at cloudy skies as well for today. And it looks like we're in store for some rains here as well. Now, as we go ahead and take a look at that day one outlook here from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, it goes from 7 a.m. today to 7 a.m. tomorrow. You are noticing that we do have that possibility of severe weather. So we're talking a level 1, marginal risk, gusty winds, probably maybe some small hail, lightning, brief heavy rains. That's what we're anticipating there. By day 2 going into tomorrow, that's going to shift over into the Carolinas and more into Georgia as that frontal system begins to push off toward the east. All right, now looking at your local radar, again, you see some of the rain out there right now, seeing up there across right there on the Tennessee and Alabama line. A little bit of light rain here that's moved through the Chattanooga area. Not really amounting to a whole lot, but the more significant rains will be coming in as we go in toward tonight. Regional satellite, let's check out all the thunderstorms back here across Texas and into Louisiana. This little piece of energy is going to kind of be riding up this way. So that's why I think we're going to see the increase in showers and thunderstorms, and thus that marginal risk for severe weather as that energy begins to kick on out from the west. So we're going to watch that very closely indeed. Now, as we go ahead and take a look at the regional radar, there is our frontal system. We're waiting on that to come on through, and it's going to be kind of slow to do so. We do have some tropical activity to watch as well. That's going to be a little bit of a player factor here as far as clearing everything out, but it will have something to say what's going to go on. Now, here's the big story here. Obviously, we've got Gabrielle that's moving out to sea. We don't have to worry about this one. This one's going to continue to pass over the Azores. In fact, the Azores are going to have their first hurricane since 2016. Been a long time since they've seen one, so they're going to get one there. And then we got these two areas here back off toward the west. This one is the dominant one here. This is the one that's going to probably become Umberto. And then we got Imelda maybe on that one near closer to the coast. So a little bit of uncertainty with this. But again, we're going to have to wait for these hurricanes and these tropical systems because I really believe that we'll get Umberto. And we're going to see at least one hurricane out of this. And once that clears on out, then we can kind of see how the weather pattern settles in after that. So we do have some question marks there. Here is your tropical satellite imagery. Again, here's our hurricane getting on out of here. This is the one that's the more significant one. This one is the weaker of the two systems. So this one will probably become the dominant storm as it gets itself developed. The water temperatures in there are very warm, so plenty of fuel for it to feed off of there. All right, so let's go look at our forecast. Again, we got unsettled weather here for today and for tonight. Going into tomorrow, again, we're seeing a little more scattered storms there. Again, things are not going to clear out completely, and that rain chance will linger a little bit into Friday. I think the weekend's not looking all that bad, but again, more significant rains coming in tonight and going in for tomorrow morning. You see a little line of storms here moving on through. In fact, let me go ahead and slow this down a little bit here. I'll kind of back this up. As you kind of see, it looks like we got a little bit of a squall line. I'll try to come through here. There it is right there. That's at 2 o'clock in the morning. So you see those heavy thunderstorms there coming on in through Chattanooga early. That's part of that severe weather window there as this moves on off toward the east. So we're going to have to watch that closely as it looks like the high-resolution model is locking onto something, a little upper-level disturbance that's going to be riding through the area through the early morning hours. So watch out for some heavy thunderstorms potential here for tonight. Now, as far as rainfall amounts are concerned, again, you're looking at some localized plots. 1 to 2 inches look reasonable for me across North Georgia as well as East Tennessee. I think we'll see some isolated heavy rains with this as it moves on through. And as we go and take a look at our forecast map, let's go take a look at this as we go ahead and strive you through the next week. Again, we're going to wait for those tropical systems to kick on out. And that's going to really keep this frontal system from kind of moving and clearing on through completely. It's going to slow it down a bit. So notice by Friday, still dealing with that there Friday morning and then going into Saturday. So even at 48 hours, it's really not clearing, not moving all that fast. Still sitting on the coast going into Sunday morning. Again, we got to wait for that tropical systems to clear on out. You got to see it there off the coast. They got it reflected there as a low pressure system, or it could be a tropical storm. We'll see. But we got to wait for that's the weaker of the two systems there, as we just showed you there. Then once this thing begins to clear on out, we should see things. But look at the lingering moisture kind of staying behind this. I do have like a very low rain chance here for a couple of days just because of that, waiting for this thing to kick on out. And once it does, we'll see things begin to improve a little bit. One thing's for sure, at least the temperatures will be a little more seasonable, maybe a little bit above normal, but really not that bad. So here's our forecast here for tomorrow. Rain likely, showers and thunderstorms, especially as you saw, coming in the overnight hours going early Tuesday. 81 and 70 there, so definitely a little bit closer to where it should be, especially those daytime highs. Maybe not so much the overnight lows, but at least the daytime highs close to where they're supposed to be. Looking at your forecast here, a lot of upper 60s there across a lot of East Tennessee and North Georgia. Definitely on the mild side, daytime highs mostly into the upper 70s and low 80s because of the cloud and the rains all around the area. So rain likely there, especially during the morning hours, the way it's looking across East Tennessee. Regionally looking like this: 82 in Nashville, 83 in Birmingham, 87 in Mobile. Still holding on to the heat down there in Jacksonville and Savannah at 93 and 91 respectively there along the coast. Here we go with our next 7-day forecast. Again, rain chance is going to linger into Friday, so looking at 60% there. And then the weekend, not looking bad. Low 80s, low 60s, fairly seasonable there. And as we saw with that residual moisture hanging back, we might still see some isolated chances of some showers there for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I think that forecast on the last 3 days, subject to change as far as precipitation amounts or cloud cover things. I think that's going to change a little bit. Again, depending on what's going on with those tropical systems off the coast, that's going to have a play on what's going to happen on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'm not anticipating either one of those systems to be a direct input, not like Helene was last year, for example. Nothing like that. It'll stay off the coast, but again, we got to wait for that system to clear so the East Coast can clear out in kind. All right, that's y'all's update here on your Wednesday. Again, I appreciate everybody checking us out here on the Talking Live broadcast channel. Make sure that you are a follower here on the page. Hit that like, hit that follow button here. And again, on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up on the latest weather updates. All right, that's it. You guys take it easy. Be good, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.